Okay, hello everybody. I'm saying hello to everyone on YouTube. We are live on YouTube and on Instagram. Hey, we're here. We made it happen. Yeah, this is gonna be a chat. As Esther mentioned, look at the fireworks on Instagram. That's so cool.
Dude,
Look
this
at
is
that.
crazy. This is crazy. I keep forgetting all of these
It's
these
going to be a
updates.
different experience from here to there, but we're talking about light language. We're talking about our experience with light language. And this is really in reflection. This is also opening a space for questions. And as we open up the Soul Resonance Support Group once again, we've been working together and channeling together for about 4 years now. So it's pretty exciting
Insane.
that we get to reflect in this way and continue this work. So, yeah, we're going to start with some deep breaths and bear with us for any technical stuff because
Yeah,
internet is
bear with my crazy technical difficulties, but I'm alive. I'm well.
We're here. We're here. Let us know if you're here in the chat. And yeah, let's ground in with some breaths. So you can soften the gaze, close the eyes if you're in a safe place to do so. If you're listening, take a moment to start to slow down your breath. Notice where you are tightening, holding, and without forcing any type of relaxation. Can you let your next breath begin the process of softening these areas? Bringing your breath deeper into, there we go. Bringing your breath deeper into the belly. Exhaling out the mouth, elongating that exhale. We'll take 3 more breaths at your own pace and rhythm to arrive present here and now. Whether you're going to be here for this live completely or not, just becoming present for this moment of life. Thank you for taking a moment.
My goodness. It's like every time you facilitate the breath work, I'm just like, woo! Every breath is like a roller coaster, and I, I just feel so. It's just like the adrenaline that I get from breathing. How you lead it is so beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all so much. I love it. We've got, oh my goodness, people popping in. Hello, hello, hello. Those that
Hello.
we know, new faces. We're going to hop right on to the conversation. Um, so, light language. It's an
What is this?
interesting, yeah, exactly. It's an interesting topic. And Esther and I have been practicing it, as I said at the beginning, for about 4 years now, and or even longer, really. We've been practicing it together for that time, but this is something that has met us in childhood and has been really transformative in our lives. And it's also something, if you were to do some research on, there's a lot of personal definitions out there, us included, right? We each have kind of our own way of relating to this sense of communication and expression and modality, this tool. So whether you are familiar with light language or not, it does not mean that you cannot participate in a transmission. It does not mean that you cannot participate in this conversation. This is what this space that we are holding is meant to do, is to really open us up to the possibilities of who we are, the truth of our beings, allowing this ability to transmute and alchemize once again, and in our power. And I feel that light language is such a beautiful place to begin that empowerment and this inspiration, whether you're someone that's speaking it or just receiving it, or, there is no hierarchy here. We're all here experiencing this together and all a part of the same source. So this is just a pathway and a way that we can really come together. And this is a big reason why we're holding space for this, because we see the value in it. But yeah, Esther, I'll let you take it
Absolutely.
away.
Yeah. Oh man, dude, you're like a motivational speaker when it comes to like light language. The way that you're able to share it, and just the light, just you sharing about it and the genuine passion, and how inside of me it just like sparks me up. And like you said, 4 years we've been creating this space to not only help each other in excelling in our understanding of light language and how we can practically use it, but also inviting others to join us on this journey to share their light so that we can amplify them. And it's crazy. Like, it is actually crazy. This is our 4th year facilitating these spaces, and the souls that we've gotten to work with, I feel so honored because of the different ways they express their light and the journeys that they're going through. It's just like so humbling to see somebody who is nervous to like speak their truth and to be seen, and to understand themselves on that level, because like we're still doing the work. We're still also trying to understand ourselves on that deeper level. And so having these spaces in consistent kind of yearly, monthly, weekly, you know, way has really helped a lot with diving deep and, tearing away like that onion. We get closer to the core, but we continue to grow. And it's beautiful. I really believe light language is a language of connection, a language of just love and of spirit of God, that God has given us a unique way to communicate with all living beings. And I love the theme of that. And so exploring different ways that we communicate to different things, whether it's
Mhm.
within ourselves or it's a projection of reality that we're seeing, that we're faced with. Like right now I feel like in the 4 years, like I'm just realizing 4 years, bro, that's crazy. And it makes me realize how my practice has changed over time. I feel like in the beginning, I was just trying to more deeply understand and explore. There's so many different experiments with either art or communicating to other people. And I really had to like learn the boundaries of when it was a good time to share, that light, and when maybe I needed to like tone down a little bit, as not to like make people feel confused or to be scared of something that you don't really necessarily understand. And so that's been like a really big lesson in the past 4 years, as well as just like the plants. I think I've been like leaning more into understanding how plants and animals, especially birds, and the songs that they sing and how they communicate, and listening deeply to those sounds. Yeah, it's been a journey, and I could say more. Right now I'm kind of excited for the next 2 weeks when we open up the portal, because I have been connecting more with indigenous people of the land that I live on, and offering my services now, as I'm learning more about taking care of plants, and also learning more about their traditional methods with the medicine within each plant, and the way that they care for the earth. And again, that understanding of how important sound is, how important it is to express yourself, and important like expression is in all of these different art forms, has been popping up. So I kind of love that. I'm so excited because it's kind of removing me from seeing it in, you know, when I was a kid, I was just like, this is just what I do. And then there was a lot of conditioning. And then all of a sudden, I was relearning and seeing these people share in such a familiar, like, language. And now relearning that and realizing, yo, this is as old as time. This is ancient and it's should be honored as so. And there's so much practical wisdom to apply in day-to-day life.
Mhm.
I love the breaths. I love going on the calls with Aria because like anytime I feel like I have a lot of energy that I'm sorting through, Aria will always implement breath, and I think breath is a part of light language, very, very much so. Can see how it helps us with our channeling when it comes to receiving, and when it just comes to simply like understanding and doing the work. That silence and that breath is so important, and so I've been really exploring that breath more as a part of the expression of light language as a whole. And yeah, so I guess that's a little bit about like how I've been working with it. Um,
Mm. Yeah, I can,
yeah, I'd love to hear what's coming up for you on that, Arya.
yeah, I can definitely relate to it when it comes to working with light language and utilizing light language in communication with the land and the plants. This is a space that really opened up to me when I would go and connect with different lands that I would travel on or live on, or even trees and like different animals, and be receiving these these sounds and these codes. It's almost very telepathic, or it comes through in thought form, and very intuitively. So this is definitely a way that I see this communication with some beings, when they can sense this ability to communicate in this way, really come through. So I can really resonate with that, and working with light language in that way. I've really seen as I mean, beginning out, it was very experimental with me as well. Um, it was very much like, "Oh my gosh, like, what is this?" I felt this resonance to it. I was just asking so many questions within myself to the one person that I saw, sharing it online, and then I saw Esther sharing it and Heather sharing it, and just seeing these different people, like, utilizing this in their lives in some way, and seeing that, like, okay, there is a sense of like truth, like my soul knows this, and being able to break through like the limiting beliefs and patterns, and to continue to see that to this day I'm still allowing light language to be a part of that process of just really breaking through this that nervousness that you're talking about, this loss of power in our voice and our expression through our bodies, and this suppression of emotion and joy and anger and grief and transformation, just this suppression of power, this oppression really of power that has been, weaved within our ancestry for who knows how long. Especially yeah, as women as well, in general, no matter where you come from. And yeah, so I really see this, me working with this in a way of allowing it to continue bringing up the overall truth of my being, this overall lightness of my energy, which can be translated in so many different ways. But it's, to me, what it continues to come back to as I'm working with it today, over however long it's been, has been this ability to alchemize, has been this ability to allow this expression to come through when I feel that something is coming to me, that I'm like, okay, let's start moving it. Okay, I see this is an attachment. Let's start moving it. Let's start seeing what's really true here, and utilize this ability to continue honoring my soul, my truths, my beliefs, and yeah, and utilizing it with animals and babies, and even if it's not fully out loud, something that has transformed over the years, has really been experiencing being able to project it and share it through, yes, the thought forms, and just simply energy and being, like, I'll still be hearing the sounds and what's occurring within, and allowing it to still be shared or felt or to work through me in that sense. So it's been a really powerful and exciting tool, and it's also been really fascinating to research. Very fascinating to research, and I love that you mentioned this ancientness of it. Some people do believe that at some level this is one of the ancient languages that we spoke, something that was forgotten in some way. And it's interesting to see the different weavings of different dialects and sacred languages, and like the way that we use our tongue and the sound and our bodies and the mudras and the colors and the shapes. Like we see this weaved in so many different cultures and mythologies. And so this is something that we're really excited to put together, like all the research that we found into one place, which will be available at some point. But hi everyone, by the way. um but yes, the effects of light language are really not only this lightness that feels of joy, but it's also this light that shines on the parts of us that have been hidden. It's also this light that allows truth to unfold, to unravel in a sense. And it's something that goes directly to your subconscious, directly to your energy body, and it's resonated through what it is that you are meant to be receiving at that time. And this is something that I love about light language, and it's just a really important reminder that as we tune into these transmissions, I'm just pointing this out. We are not going into these to bypass, to just gain the sense of love and light. This is a process of alchemy. This is a process of remembrance within ourselves. Light is not just just light in the world and the reality that we're living in. If the light shines so bright, and I've had this happen with my vision before, the more that I distance myself from reality, the more that I see with full true light, there is no shadow, there is no form. The experience that we're having right now is of form, is of shadow. So as we utilize this tool, this energetic modality, this expression, realizing that what we're working with as we are working with it is not just simply returning to that state, it's actually integrating this state into our day-to-day lives. And this is why I feel like having a group where we can come together to fully receive what it is that the group specifically intends to receive at this time, whether on a personal or collective level. It's all connected at the end of the day. This is where we get to start to integrate deeply into our lives this ability to take our power back and to offer a sense of remembrance of this truth within our beings, to utilize it in a way that allows it to feel like a returning to a sense of natural humanness. At the end of the day, this is really what I feel like, and I'm kind of going on a rant here, but this is really what I feel we are dropping into, is this sense of returning to what humanity is meant to be in connection to the earth.
Period.
So,
Period.
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 All right.
I love that, and that so powerful. Going back to original divine nature, that's what it's all about. Okay,
Yeah.
Gina Joan asked, "Can you share how you first started with light language?" And I think that's a really good question. And yeah, I think that ties into a lot of what we've done in the past 4 years, 5 years, that we've shared it publicly. First we had to explore it personally. And you also said, how did it activate for you? Or how did you feel like channeling the light language? I think for a lot of people, and not everyone, it starts out usually with sounds because that's just how we're most familiar with communicating. Um, but when I was a child, that's when I know for me, and I think me and Aria have talked a little bit, is just having this dream of people talking in this language that in my head made no sense, but everybody understood each other perfectly. And so in the dream, it was like simply like going to the supermarket, getting some produce, and then going to the cashier. and talking to the cashier and being like, who blah 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 blah, and the cashier being like, oh blah 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 blah, and they just were harmoniously, everything made sense. They they were like, okay, cool. And in my head, I was like, that's so interesting. That's so interesting that it's not really a language that I know, but I still understand what they're saying and the intention behind their interaction. And so that was when I was like probably 4 or 5, and then I started exploring it more. There was a lot of fear at that age for being, feeling like I would be misunderstood or perceived as crazy, even at like such a young age. So I never really shared it out loud. It would be something in my mind I would do. A lot of the times I would just silently look at somebody that I saw as sad, and maybe I would, kind of just sing like a little prayer. Or if I was feeling frustrated with somebody, maybe it would come through as me trying to like transmute those frustrations, and I will say that, yeah, for me, it definitely was words. It was internally communicating in a way where it was just very raw emotions that I didn't have the words to define the emotions, but they were just coming out in sounds that I understood. I like to learn more about it. I started to feel like I had 2 encounters with light language. That's
Mm,
awesome.
yeah.
And yeah, listening to more people share light language, I think was a big part of the activation for actually sharing it publicly. When I, first heard somebody on social media share their light language, I was like, oh, this is a thing. We can do this now. I'm so excited. It was like somebody took the chain that I had put on myself in terms of that kind of expression, and I
Mm,
just was so excited to share something that I felt like I was keeping in so much. And it was just like freeing. And, Aria started to share hers, and it almost like amplified the energy and the joy of sharing, knowing that like these transmutations, I think like my favorite one was for period cramps to reduce like cramping and start relieving that pain. And I still go back and listen to that sometimes if I'm like having a rough cycle. And I love the practicality of that, knowing that you can create these pieces to serve yourself and others. And the last note I'll share is just, was talking to Aria the other day about how a lot of the times light language will come during a time of high emotions, because that's usually when it's most easy to express this very concentrated form of spiritual energy. And so, like, whether it's like intense anger or intense joy, I look at, like Pentecostal churches a lot of the times when the Holy Spirit is among them and the people are speaking in tongues because of the intensity of the soul, the energy that is there. And so that's why I think light language is something that, yeah, I think everybody could do it. But understanding and taking the time to know how it comes for you. Maybe it doesn't come through very much in your voice because you don't really like to speak out loud or express yourself or sing in that way. Maybe it comes through in art. Maybe you just create some beautiful pieces of art that like have like cryptic messages within them that promote healing or reveal certain emotions and energies that wouldn't otherwise be seen. You're making it clear. Light language for me, I believe it means to reveal what is already there. So yeah, I love that question, and I hope that I hope that helped, Gina and
yeah.
Joan. Yeah, Aria,
Thank
I'm
you
so
for
curious,
asking.
how that journey looked like for you.
Yeah. Okay. I wanna how can you share how you first started light language? How to activate for you? So, I think I think Esther touched very well upon like the activation. It was very much this it was like an opening. It's not a, a kundalini rising experience, but it's an opening, it's a remembrance and on some level. And I feel like when I first started with light language, it was terrifying because I was feeling this resonance towards something, this call towards this language that people were calling more of light, and I didn't fully understand it. The only thing that was coming through was me not being able to integrate or feel like I belonged in society when I already didn't feel that way, um, and just being myself, and just like even not even fully being myself because of what I was working through at the time. I was definitely younger and I didn't realize that in moments of, emotional intensity that me speaking these languages that I would call it Wapacha. And I'm curious if anyone knows that word. But I was like, I'm just speaking Wapacha, like, I just need to So it was like a really powerful way to express when I feel like I couldn't, and I felt like most of my childhood growing up, I suppressed my expression. So to allow that to come through instead, to where it didn't need to be fixed, it didn't need to be understood, was really healing for me in my own journey with my inner child. So then, as I continue to explore what this is and realize that, like, okay, I'm meant to share this. This isn't just some way for me to express how, it is that I'm expressing, but to really share this ability to hold space, to be a channel, to allow the sounds and the frequencies and the movements and the mudras to actually assist in facilitating a shifting and alchemizing of energy, and a raise in energy as well. So, and I feel like I've had a lot of different experiences with light languages, which I want to be very clear not to put it in a box that it needs to be any certain way, just like Esther was talking about. Like it's going to be, it's a form of expression, language. It really is a powerful way to begin transcending language, which holds many confines within it in itself. Um, Many of it being very yeah, colonized as well. So what's really beautiful about this language and the different encounters that I've had with it is that it can come through as my ancestors. It can come through as, if I intend to connect with, specific beings. Sure. A lot of the time it's really my soul, my ability to work with energy on some level, whether that is, a past life version of myself or my higher self, or this source oneness, this connection to God, or whatever it may be. And I feel like there hasn't necessarily been like just one type of occasion that this really comes through to help with. I feel like it's been something that the more I allow myself to be open to it, the more that it assists me in so many different ways of connection. Like we're talking about, like this is really a powerful form of connection. So yeah, it was definitely a very inward, powerful journey, and which is why we created the light resonance portal, which was our portal of going through the chakras to begin this activation process of what this light language can be for you. So, yeah, we created that because we realized there are so many things that this offers us healing with as a collective, and the suppression of our energy and our power and our ability to share and express in these ways. And I think it's very important that we remember, as especially those of us as channels, to continue honoring the truth that this from which this comes from, and not necessarily to utilize it as something, once again, to hold this level of oppressed power, or not this level of liberation and connection to all that is, if that makes sense. I know I'm saying a lot of words sometimes, and I'm like, I hope it's a circling big
Girl's
picture
channeling.
for
She's
others,
channeling. Yeah.
But yeah, and lately it's come through like as singing so much, and I see that like many musicians, and I see this comment over here, I'm a singer, I think I have a natural connection to it. Yeah, there's a lot of singers and artists and musicians that actually utilize this without even needing to call it anything. It doesn't even need to be called light language, which is why, sometimes I'm like, this is just our resonance. This is our vibration, and how we're speaking energy here. We're sharing and speaking in energy, and um it's up to us to allow that to be as authentic as it gets to be, as true and natural as it gets to be. So, yeah, I feel like there are many people out there that are utilizing this tool and it doesn't need to be identified with in any language. Like, continue. Thank you. But yeah, thank you so much for the questions, by the way.
I love
Beauty,
it.
beauty, beauty.
Yes. Oh my goodness, so much love. And as you were sharing, Aria, I really started thinking about just the nature of light language and why we call it that. I know that we've talked about, like, we've had a whole workshop on light language and our findings after researching it and, diving deep into our own channels. And I've really been kind of exploring, and this is something that for a little while, it goes in waves. I remember that, oh, we have a cosmic family, connected to the stars and the whole universe that is just expanding infinitely. And our channel is just like a radio station that we can choose what we want to connect to, and really that being the premise, or for me the foundation of light language, is just choosing what you connect to and using that energy, anchoring it down and expressing it here into the world, and knowing you can do this with anything from the artistic view to, I think, the athletic. If you find yourself being somebody who wants
100%,
to
yeah.
just use your body to perform and to channel through that energy, all of those are just on the spectrum of allowing the light that is within you to find itself and come through and to shine for others to witness. And I love that.
Mhm.
And I think that the spaces that we've held for the past 4 years and will hopefully continue until the end of when the time is divine, I look forward to the kind of structure that sometimes I feel channeling it when you're alone. I know for myself sometimes I lack, especially when you're sharing and channeling with others, the experience that comes up, that sometimes you mutually have symbols that pop up that all tie together and can help paint a bigger picture. I think sometimes when I'm channeling by myself, and I know we've talked a little bit about, like, you're sharing, you let in the expression go through, and then all of a sudden these images or symbols are popping up, and then you're trying to, like, piece them together. I think one of the things I love most is that when we have a space and we're sharing and we're channeling and we're opening and honoring, the symbols that come up collectively, they paint a greater picture of the energy and what we just transmuted and what just actually went on in, like, all of the different dimensions that we can perceive. And so I think that's what I'm so excited for, as
Yeah.
people are tapping more into their own pure channel and sharing that energy, because that's where the power lies. When someone else sees your light and they're able to then spread theirs and feel safe enough to really amplify that light. I like to
Yeah,
think of it as like a light bulb.
amplification, yeah.
Just keeps, like,
Which is
activating
why
and
the
going.
word light makes so much sense when we're talking about this, and I think for me personally, like, the word language feels confined. But at the same time, it's like this is the way us humans have learned to communicate in some way, and, um, I'm excited to kind of tune into ancient civilizations and try and date back, like, okay, the use of this communication
Mm.
of energy and light. Yeah. And
Yeah,
so my
so this is exciting. I know that me and Aria like to use these spaces as we facilitate them to learn as much as we can. We have some research, like Aria said, that we're excited to look into, just like collect more information as so that we can understand what and how, it works. To share with others, and of course, just deepen that understanding within ourselves and the spaces that we hold, and to share it, for other people to see what we've collected, and maybe they can challenge some of the things and maybe they can add on more. Like, it's all in the
yes.
spirit of growing the collective consciousness so that we can feel safe and understand how we are channeling. And I know one of the big themes, I guess, I wanted to just, like, note is transmuting trauma. I feel like that's something that we all are going through. Things happen, there's rocks that will try to come and dent your aura, whatever. And we have to understand that that is a part of life. That's not the end of the world, but it's so important to know that we can transmute that energy, that we can allow ourselves to become pure and whole again. And it does take time, and it does take that energy that, I think a lot of the times we may be afraid to put that into ourselves or give ourselves that energy for fear of being selfish or maybe disappointing somebody else. But that's the core. You got to start with the core and allowing yourself to feel that wholeness. And yeah, I'm really excited for myself to dive into really using light language, using the powers that be, the energy that we hold, in order to just evaluate, to honor, and to know that the experiences that may have left a dent in our aura are there for us to learn from and to grow stronger from, and to be more harmonious with the world. And so that's
Mhm.
one of the things I'm most excited for, really just diving deep into how we can use this energy to really practically change over time. All right. I don't think like
Yeah.
when we do these spaces, we're never like expecting to all of a sudden like dramatically change who we are. It's just honoring. And I think like talking to some of the souls that we've had the space with in like our first circle, seeing where they are now and seeing how they are able to navigate through the world and use what they have practiced and to continue to practice it. I think that's like the best part. It's really just creating that kind of cycle so that you can strengthen your energy, your rituals, and continue to grow and to share that
Exactly.
light. So I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited. These past 4 years, it's crazy to think that we continue to grow and we continue to share this light. The soul family, you guys are waking up and expressing your own lights and sharing it with us and the world. So it's so
Yes.
beautiful to see.
I think this topic of transmuting traumas has been like a really powerful thing of offering the empowerment to start to see these people, these beings going into their lives and speaking up and actually taking action from these points. I've seen that um as I've been sharing like personal transmissions with people, a lot of the time like they want to show up, and this like there's this deep sense of like showing up and expressing, allowing it to help other people, allowing it to continue to drive the energy that they have, and when while bringing our ancestors along with us, this powerful energy that we have, allowing that to really fuel the future. It's it's so deeply empowering, and it touches many, many people, and being able to continue to hold these spaces and return to it again and again, even as we, take those times of being in the hermit, and allowing ourselves to return, and within in our seasons, it's continued to really amplify, like you were saying, that ability to empower and expand and show up and speak up, and be honest and truthful, and continue to honor that, to continue to honor those values that we hold. So yeah, these spaces have been really powerful, and like really calming the nervous system, allowing ourselves to get into a space where we can talk about these things, where we can open up the space to invite it into the room, the parts of us that we've been hiding, or the parts of us that we want to be sharing, and the parts of us that we don't want to be sharing, like allowing it to be that inspirational space. And while like this light comes with that sense of, oh wow, now I can see darkness, like this is a really beautiful, powerful ability in the alchemy that we get to work with light language. So it's really exciting to see and continue to see. Like Esther and I keep up with the beautiful beings that have been a part of our spaces, and it's so powerful to see the continuation and the uniqueness that each person holds within these spaces. So this the support group that we have going on, the soul resident support group that we're calling it, is going to be a 5-week donation based space where we meet once a week on Thursdays. We base this all around the timing of the group. And what we do is we come together, we check in, we breathe, we do our practices, and we allow the intentions and the energy to drive through a transmission. And from that space we get to speak and support one another and connect and continue to do this throughout the week. And then the next week we hold this same space, and it can be completely different, the transmission that comes through. So it's really powerful to see the transformation that occurs, and in still recognizing that, like, okay, some of us, especially living in the world of instant gratification, we want it like that. However, who are you taking with you on this journey if it's going to be like that? Look at, like, ancestrally, what are we actually healing? What is this new world, this new earth that we are creating, if it does not include the healing of what has created the literal physical being that you're living in right now? So it's remembering that, like, we are moving through all of that. And light language is such a beautiful, joyful, exciting way to begin implementing this transformation of energy, this ability to return to the powers that be, the earth, and the way that she transmutes this energy. So yeah, it's exciting, and I'm gonna put the link and everything. We'll be answering questions. Um, if anybody
Yeah.
does have questions on what
Yes,
Evolute
ma'am.
gets to
I
be.
will add on because these spaces have been, for me, a place to come back, like to just practice, to not only practice, but it's so funny. Last time we did this, I remember every single transmission we're like, that was powerful. I think that was the most powerful one yet. And then the
Every
next
single
week
time.
it was like,
We're like,
how
whoa.
could it be more powerful? And the beautiful thing was again that it was a time for us to practice these skills, to hone in and to really ask questions. What's coming up for you? I think it was cool because some people decided that they felt more comfortable just watching the replays. And we would always, like, before the call, we would tune in to all of the souls that are part of the space, and we would just breathe in and we would focus and set that intention for the intentions that the group had, as well as, aligning them so that our intentions are aligned with theirs. And then having the space open so that we're honoring the time and the space of everybody there. And really
Mhm.
just like knowing that this transmission is of service to those that are here to share this space and energy with us. And that as we serve them, we will serve ourselves, because it's crazy. Sometimes we're just sharing. We're like, here's like all the love, Sometimes everybody in the group is feeling like a little low and we're just like all feeling a little tired. So it's just like, here's some like restful, peaceful energy, let's tap into that. And sometimes we just feel like giving, and it's crazy when we're in that energy and we're just like, let's give. The people in the circle want to just like give back. It's so cool to see. And having the
Mhm.
space kind of a little flexible so that we can attune it to the needs and the intentions of everybody there, I think has been so important. I
Mhm.
love the chakras. I love exploring the energy body and see the pattern and everything, and having the space to do that, but also having the space to really like focus on certain things, maybe blocks or limits that we're facing, or seeing how that can apply in our lives and others in this space. It kind of
Yeah.
gives each person a new perspective, and I think that creates a more like well-rounded holistic channeling session for us all. I'm really
Mhm.
excited because it's just a time for us to learn from one another and to share and to grow ourselves and our channels more spiritually. I'm
Yeah.
gonna guess I'll leave like this image of our channel, right? It's from our spine. It's this beautiful beam of light within us, like a beacon. And the more that we practice and we explore this expression and release it into the world, the stronger it becomes. And so I love these spaces. I love sharing light language and just honoring how others are sharing their channeling, because it strengthens your channel and it literally becomes a thicker channel, one that can hold more energy and can flow through your body even more harmoniously. So that's kind of like the vibe. That's what I love. The soul resonance group, it's starting in like a little less than 2 weeks, I think, the 21st
Mhm.
of this month,
March
right?
21st. Mhm, every
Yes.
Thursday, we're basing the
Three,
availability
two,
off
one.
of yeah. 3, 2, 1, I love that. We're basing it off of, yeah, everyone's availability. So if you feel like you would like to simply receive the replays, that's something that part of the group last time received, and we got a lot of really positive feedback in that process, especially for those that are really new to spaces like this, but still want to dip the toes in. Like this is a really powerful place. Your intentions are still going to be honored. We still have a little forum where we can share these intentions and any reflections. And Esther and I always keep our messaging open and our emails open for anyone that does have, any questions or wants to share more personally, especially as a support group. Like, yes, we want to be doing this as a group, but at the same time, it's like honoring yourself in that process. So this is why even in the sign up, we make a form to ensure to see like who wants to be joining live, who's going to be joining live and the replay, and who wants to just watch the replays, so that this really encompasses all those that are really interested in light language, whether they know what it is or not. Like, this is a space, if you feel called to work with light language in any way, shape, or form, if you simply want to receive and be in this energy, this space that we hold, like this is a really beautiful, loving, introductory space to do that. While at the same time, Esther and I, when we channel together, and every single group has said this, like our the amplification of energy is real as opposed to us channeling separately on our own. And that's always something you can explore. But and I'm sure we have like transmissions on here on YouTube and Instagram, like of the times, but not sure if it's gonna happen today, but yeah.
Yes, ma'am. It's so cool. I'm so excited for real life retreat with Aria in,
It
the
will
divine
happen.
future, because that's gonna be crazy, my friends. I don't know, we planted the seeds. When that happens in divine timing, whew, the energy's gonna be off the charts. But these
Mm.
spaces have been so beautiful. And yeah, I also shared the link on Instagram. And I see that Gina Joan asked another question just about talking about the group sessions and the same symbols that we see sometimes. And she shared that the symbol of like the spiral keeps popping up in her path lately. And what does it mean to you? Really quickly, without getting too deep into it, because I love reading into symbols.
Yes.
Um, I think that, the color blue could connect to your throat chakra, it could connect to your third eye because it's like a deeper blue. Same between the two of them, which is like right here, here. It's like the tip of your nose. It's the focal point. And the spiral for me, I believe, is depends how you see it. Depending on your energy, if you feel yourself being drained of energy or your energy is expanding, I would say right now we got the full moon, so it's more of a time where I'm thinking it's like right in the center before it expands. It's a time of growth. Either way, the movement is there, and it's a time where your expression is changing, and you might see lapses in the way that you're expressing things. I think for us, like, we could take that for the light resonance and how this group continues to change while keeping some things the same. And so, like last time, I don't think we really went too much into the research. We just wanted to share the space, have the level of consistency, and hear what people were, experiencing, so that we could reflect that and amplify the best parts of that. And so, yeah, when I see the spiral, I see growth. I see sometimes people believe they're going in circles and not making any progress, but in fact, they're actually growing and expanding. So, yeah, it's really
Mm,
interesting, to each
mhm.
their own. And I think that's something I'm very excited to probably for our longer portal to explore the nature of symbols, especially in light
Mhm.
language, because there are so many. And I
Yeah,
believe we all have the
and sacred
ability to
geometry. Mhm.
Exactly. We all have the ability like we innately understand them, but sometimes our judgment is clouded by conditioning that we need to break through, right? We need to understand that okay, maybe it's not as complicated. Maybe I don't have to like be doing all of this in my head. Maybe my subconscious already knows the answer and I just have to like breathe and let it like bubble up to
Mm.
the surface. So, yeah.
Mm. Yeah, and then, Gina Jones said, "To me, the spiral stands for expansion for sure. I'm also a water sign, Pisces, ascending
Happy
sun."
full moon.
It's actually the new moon, but this full moon energy could
Thank
be
you.
like the space and energy in which, whether it resonates with you or not, but definitely the spiral. What's interesting about symbols, and I've done like this practice before of utilizing symbols and being able to see what arises for you within like your inner sight or your third eye,
Mhm.
um, wherever that may come to you with an intention or a specific thought, and actually seeing what arises. So it's interesting to see that, okay, the spiral is coming through for you. What does that make you feel? What does that make you think? And really looking at the overall energy and thoughts around, around what that symbol is, because there are collective, and thank you so much, Esther, for sharing like those, there are those like collective overall, meanings behind symbols and sacred geometry and like the forms, and we see this spiral in nature, the Fibonacci, there's so many different ways that we can start to see this. So starting to see, okay, how is the symbol interacting with your light body, and very exciting. Hello, Roberto. Hello, everyone. I just have to
Yay.
say hello. Hello, Peter.
So much
Hi.
love.
Hi, Cosmic Wisdom. Hi, Raymond. Hi, Angela. Hello everyone on Instagram. I always love coming live, and I love coming live with you, Esther. It's been so long since we've been
Bro,
live.
I'm so happy we chose to do this. Like,
Me too.
this is
Slightly
beautiful.
too.
So, yes, I guess to kind of begin to summarize this beautiful little talk, light language is going to look different for everyone. And this was just our story of how it started and how it's going. And really, if you feel led to share your light, if you want to just practice strengthening your channel or to have a space to share and have consistent time to show up so you have a structure and you have that accountability as you continue to grow as a soul. If you feel led to serve others with your light language, then join the space because that is really the intention, is to help you on your journey so that we can learn together and we can strengthen each other and really just have that community. I think every single soul who has ever joined the portal, we still pray for you guys. We still like send all of the good energy like from day one, the people that trusted in us 4 years ago. We love you guys, and it's fun. It's cool to see how every soul is growing and breaking through what is happening for them. Really, I think
Mm,
the powerful part about the space is the intentions that you set, because light language is so like vital to have that intention. And the more you use that intention as a driving force, the more pure that energy that you channel will be towards that intention. And so, this consistent practice of showing up every week, of practicing focusing on your intention, and then leaving after the meeting knowing that you can always come back. Aria does like an amazing job editing all of our like lives, so you can like hop on that live stream and receive that transmission as many times as you feel led. But it's really just like strengthening your channel. This is like a very soft, I would say, like divine feminine way that we are developing so that we can hold the space, that we can keep each other accountable by simply being there. And for that energy that is meant to arise in our lives to arise, and we have space to really transmute it and to alchemize it and use it practically. Like, I'm a very big believer in everything in the spiritual world It's not meant to be like in the atmosphere, some like woo woo. Okay, that's cool, but like there's no way I can apply this to my day-to-day life. I believe in setting and having beautiful routines so that it can be practical, that it can help you day to day, and that you can actively use this energy to help you, whether it's just you taking that energy or those old behaviors and transmuting them, or diving into the passions that maybe you didn't feel like you had enough time or were nervous about judgment. We're here. We're all here to learn and to grow, and I just love it. So that's what I will share about the portal. I'm so excited and thankful that we have the opportunity to open this space again. And yeah, even though it's only 5 weeks, I think that's the perfect amount of time for souls to come in, to be introduced to it, for us to share our technique and to hopefully like establish their own channel so that they can go forward, they can share and serve others in that way, and know that we're always here to support them if there's any questions ever. So that's what it's here
Mhm.
for.
Yeah, and the intention, like, it's not only just for those, that want to utilize this in their channeling, but those that are really curious and new to it as well, which is why, as Esther's been saying, like, we're keeping it very open to the needs of the group and the sense of either empowerment or inspiration or healing, whatever you feel, you know, deep within you that this could really offer you. Honor yourself in that process, of like having that space of accountability for you in and support. And yeah, so hi Katya. And yeah, so I'm very excited as well. We've got the link up. It's also linked in my bio as well. And we will be doing this again this year. We're planning on doing it in the shifting of the seasons. The first support group that we had, not the portal that we originally created, but the first support group that we had started in fall. So we're going to be doing this spring as we transition into spring, depending on where you are at in the world, and fall. So if you're unable to join this one, we will be doing it again. But I highly suggest answering that call and allowing yourself to be there to receive. The replays are going to be available until the changing of the season, again, in this transformative season of fall into winter. So, yeah, allowing it to be very open. If anyone has any more questions, feel free to message us.
Drop
We're
them in
here to
there.
chat. Yeah, we're here
Yeah.
to chat, to sprinkle a bit of inspiration as we shift and allow this to apply in the transformation of our lives and the lives of others. So, yeah, let us continue being in these spaces that honor and bring us into practice, into devotion of our truths, because this is what
Yes.
the world is needing right now, is a devotion to
Absolutely.
these truths, not to hold it underneath, not to suppress it. And light language is such a powerful, expansive, very silly way of bringing ourselves to that truth, that our expression is a powerful force of change. So, yeah, very excited. Thank you so much, Esther. Thank you, everyone that's been
Of course.
here chilling with us, chatting.
I I love what you said about light language just being kind of like that. This literally choice sometimes taking life a little bit too seriously, getting caught up in the trauma and the drama of the world. Light language has definitely been that, like, let's step out for a second. Let's just evaluate what's going on. And then let's see what we can do, as a soul that has the ability to interact with the energy in a raw form, and see how we can just a little bit, maybe just one string of reality more harmonious, because sometimes, that's all it takes, domino effect, and that's what we're really here for. Finding that beautiful center and that harmony. And yeah, I'm so excited, Aria. I know that divinely everything is as it is. If you feel led to join us, you want to support the journey, like, pretty sure we got like donation based, like,
Mm-hmm.
beautiful. We want it to be as accessible as possible so anybody who feels led can join the space, because it's fun. It's really, really beautiful, peaceful, bringing accountability to showing up as our authentic selves and to doing that healing, because healing alone is not easy.
No, I don't
When
think
you
we're
could
meant to
just
be
like
doing it alone,
go
y'all.
look away,
Just
but
FYI. And this doesn't mean you need to like necessarily like constantly be putting yourself in these places. Like on some level, yes, there's some deep work that we get to do on our own, and it's all relationship work. It's all the relations that we are holding, that we are healing, with ourselves, with others, with the earth, with all energy, and all beings. So yeah, it's definitely community. I feel is really important in being able to hold spaces where we feel safe and supportive in our process, whether you share your process, whether you share whatever it is that we want to share or not. Like, we are still holding this space for support, to let you know that you are not alone in this process. And yeah.
yes, ma'am.
Oh, let's
So
see.
thank you so much for joining. You guys are real ones. Please feel free to share any thoughts, insights, comments that you have. You know, we appreciate them. They keep us going. And yeah, a last final word, I guess, from me is I kind of feel led to just like share a little bit of light language as we close, you know, to honor the time and the energy. And yeah, I think this will be like what I feel led to do. And Aria, if you feel led to join, I'll just take a few breaths to center.
Yes, my cheeks are like, oh, the smiles, y'all.
Right?
All right.
Likupam is mata e ius indica. Lukup an shiukas hihukumburi papatia. Lukup ish kutupapa. Kusim potapoko tai sindukapolekatos in kuto simkuata pis uhan. Ko oishi moko ita ale nukutotos u ina ulikatato umyon. Gus nini papa takataritikuta u totokoto just aligning, centering with the earth's core.
sino ukumu sharihia nasum. Masiana ko usari halakiana sotom. Bakia lakia salakieta ko shariarakanatia. Ndia satua kama silakan. Inda tua rakana oam. Angiasana. Ngiaso ya 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 Mekia nasu alakian ndasu urakanatia nasu koarakiana kianatu mushitikim matiam angasa lakia dia sadapo ungo salakia ngesatiam mukwa mekia kia satiara kalakian Nakia naku kamasia. Makiana katia nakam. Tushni kambu u kapaisan. Tino kumuasa. Kumuasa kiatane kiam. So I invite you to take some deep breaths. Honoring your experience, bringing gratitude, thankfulness to the parts of you that have felt, they've received the parts of you that have questioned. All aspects of your being can you bring gratitude to in this moment? Thank you for the sight within and without. Thank you to Source for this connection to the earth in our bodies. Honoring each and every aspect of energy that arrives here and now. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
Saya ndakadriwa sinroadade etawa kakayam. So much love and joy, always so much good energy clearing through and feeling a lot more aligned. Totally. After that, just like, allowing the energy to flow through. Of course, I'll share really quickly what came up, as we close. If something came up for you guys, let us know, okay? I love hearing, if any feelings.
Yeah, we love
vibes. We love catching the vibe. See, because this is the part of understanding more deeply. And yeah, I felt such beautiful energy. On my end, I was like, whoa, okay, cool. We're just, opening up the heart space, and then we're connecting it to the earth's core, to that space, and we're allowing that to be strengthened. And then Aria shared, and it was almost like taking the weight after we created that connection and really established it, kind of like lifting it up is the best way I can put it. It was like lifting it up and expanding it, so that kind of the heaviness sometimes felt in the heart when we think about the earth and everything it's going through, how by simply we can help relieve that pain just a little bit. And so that's kind of what came through for me. You Emily, Kimberly said she saw lots of trees. Jenna Jones
Mhm.
said my crown chakra started tingling. And Mug, yeah, it was sweet. Me and Aria have actually been collaborating just a little bit more low key, in the spaces for the past 4 weeks.
Yeah. We haven't been on Instagram too much, and I know I haven't been on YouTube too much in this form. And we coming, we emerging, we're emerging.
We
I'm feeling,
doing
I'm
our
feeling the
best, showing up,
But yeah,
and
for those of you on our email list and those of you that have worked with us, then you know, you know, tap in, you know,
yeah,
let's do
honestly,
this together.
let's all transcend, every single week, starting in the spring of this month, the season shift, so will we, transcending what is meant for us. And yeah, I'm excited. I am excited to see who joins us because the souls that join the space really do impact it greatly in terms of our channeling and just the overall experience. You guys help create the space into what it is. So many beautiful souls out here, and you can feel the energy. Good energy, very powerful energy, very aligned. And I love that. So I'm excited to see who is joining us. And of course, in divine timing, again, this is a beautiful opportunity. It's on Thursdays because that's the day that works best for us, but we're really wanting the time to work for you. So, yeah, join and let us know. Yeah.
Yes, excited. Atlantis Rising. Hope to see you there. Thank you everyone for being here. And if you had joined our previous support group, then we've already sent you an invitation to join us this time. Yeah, everyone that joins, this is a collaboration. This is a support group. This isn't us just teaching at all. This is really a space holding space as well as a space to utilize and work with light language. So we're excited. We could sit here and just like chat and just chill with you guys and your energy forever, I feel like. So with that being said, Thursdays, which is the day of expansion, Jupiter. And this is the day that had really called to us, and we're gonna see what kind of works for everyone else as well. But yeah, feel free. The link, it's everywhere. So you will find it if you are meant to. And we'll see you there. Love you all so much. We'll see you in future videos and all the things and everything. Oh, look at the hearts.
I know, right? It's so cool.
We see the hearts on Instagram
So
for
much
those
love.
of you that are on YouTube. Yay. Excited for all of you to join us. Goodbye now. Goodbye. Drink lots of water. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones.
So much love.
Okay, bye, y'all.
I will
Love
see you
you.
guys in divine timing.
Bye, Esther. Big hugs.
This is the hardest part to say goodbye.
I know. Why? We're like, okay, where are we going to start
Goodbye.
transmuting that?
First. No, you
Goodbye.
hang up, right?
Or just like, no goodbye, We're working on it.
It's all
All
coming
right.
together.
Yes. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Godspeed.